short series, and it's called Micro Tips. Now from that word, you've probably gathered it's about the microwave oven, but the word micro also happens to mean small in Greek. And if you've been thinking, I'm not interested in microwaves, I just ask you, stick with me for a few minutes because you might change your mind. The reason the small bit is interesting is because so many of us are trying to create a meal for 1 or 2 people, not even 6. And so the idea of being able to get something lovely on the table in 5 or 10 minutes should be very appealing. So I'm going to get right in and tell you all you need to do to make my fresh garlicky tomato sauce. So first of all, we need tomatoes. Now there are various types. These are ordinary vine tomatoes, which are coming to an end now, and they used to have the most wonderful smell, but I have to tell you that's not quite what it is in October. And we also have another kind of tomato, which is this one, very small vine tomatoes, and these seem to have flavour all round the year. These are what's actually a supermarket tomato called Tesco's Finest, and I'm not advertising, but they are really, really good. Those I called eating tomatoes, so I'm not going to cook those. What I am going to use for this tomato sauce is baby plum tomatoes. And these are easy to obtain, and what you need to do is you need to peel them. Now I can just see you're thinking, how am I going to peel all those tiny little tomatoes? Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it. But just to remind you where we're going, we are making this wonderful tomato sauce. And I do wish you could smell it because it is garlicky. It has a few tiny bits in it, but it is rich and thick and just perfect. So back to the peeling the tomatoes. There is a very famous way of making tomatoes peeled, and that is you put them in a bowl and you pour on boiling water, and a few minutes later the skin comes off fairly easily. Well, I tried it with the small ones, and I found out that if you pour off that initial boiling water and then put a fresh lot of very boiling water on for another minute, they actually magically slip out, and I will show you how it happens. So here are some that I've been doing. There are the peeled ones, there is the skin, and I've got a couple left here which I just had in this water, and you take a knife and it just slips off. There it is, it comes off so easily. And I'll do the last one just to show you again. If you think it's going to be boring doing so many, put some music on while you're doing it, but there you have got your perfect peeled tomatoes. Right, now to mix all these things together, you need tomatoes in a bowl, and I'm going to use a mixture of the unpeeled ones and the peeled ones. I'm going to put them all in together like that. You can cut them in half if you want to, there's no need absolutely. And you put on a little bit of salt, not too much, because you can always add salt later, and it's not so clever to add too much at the beginning. A few grains of black pepper, and then some olive oil. Now when I say some, I mean a very small amount. I'm just putting 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And here I'll mention a very useful tip about microwaving in general. The less water or liquid you have, the quicker and more efficiently it cooks. So here we have just the tomatoes, and then we're going to add some garlic. Now I have already peeled a couple of cloves of garlic, and I'm going to put them in a garlic crusher. Many of you might prefer to chop them by hand, but I actually quite like this squeezing thing where you squeeze the garlic out like this, and you put it into the tomatoes, and you pop the lid on, and that is ready to go into the microwave for a couple of minutes. Now while it would be cooking, I'm not doing it because I don't want you to hear the boring noise of the microwave behind me. I'll just tell you something. Covering it is a very good idea because that keeps the flavour in, and it also keeps the smell in to some extent. But when you're cooking something which is like very much garlic flavoured, and the next thing you're going to be cooking is perhaps chocolate, you do not want that smell in your microwave. So what you want to do is you want to get a half a lemon, pop it in a small pot like this, a sprinkling of water, into your microwave for 2 minutes, and when you open the door, you'll be delighted. There's no smell at all. Anyway, so now imagine that that has come out of the microwave and is now this lovely, lovely cooked mixture. Let's show it here. Here it is cooked, but you don't want all the pips and the bits. So what you do is you simply take a strainer and you strain it. And what you do is, as you're straining it, you press, 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 and then what comes out is the beautiful pureed look. You can, if you like, have it with bits, as I call it, and that's fine. If you like that, that is good. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell you is what to do with it. My absolute favourite is to have it on pasta. And here is some rigatoni, which are one of my favourites. They're quite big pieces of pasta, and I haven't actually cooked these. But here's a little tip if you have got some cooked pasta. This is something I want to tell you where you must not use the microwave. Reheating pasta in a microwave is not good. You shouldn't do it because it sticks together and isn't very nice. So what you do instead is you get a large bowl, larger than this, and you put your cooked pasta in it, pour on lots of boiling water so that the cold pasta can swim around in the water, and a few minutes later, it's all separated, it's soft, it's perfect. So then you just drain the pasta and you pour on your tomato sauce and lots of grated parmesan. So there it is, #1 in the micro tips. I do hope you enjoy it. If you do, please pass this on to somebody else. And anyway, I'd be pleased if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, because if you do, you will also hear news of other things that are happening. Thank you very much for watching.